minutes for Friday, January 26, 2024, Human Services Committee. We did have a quorum. I will get right to the motions. There was a motion made by Council Representative Mary Miller, seconded by Council Representative Francine Hall to submit Marla Safreda-Hawk's letter to the treasurer to address this issue. It was a personnel issue with the Support Services Department, and the committee felt that needed action on it. I'd like to make a motion to refer this to the treasurer.
On a motion to refer to the treasurer by Mr. Bartlett, second by Mr. Walters. All in favor, raise your hand. Yes, 0 no, motion carries. Mr. Bartlett.
Okay, there was a motion made by Council Representative Mary Miller, seconded by Council Representative Sharon Lee to refer Tisa Creek to the ARPA Home Repair Program for assistance with fixing the roof and siding on her home. That'll be my motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Bartlett. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Lee. What page is that on?
That's page 2 of 6.
Mm-hmm. Okay, motion by Mr. Bartlett, second by Ms. Lee to refer. Is it to refer to the program?
Yes, to Home Repair Program.
Okay. All in favor, raise your hand. 12 yes, 0 no, motion carries. Mr. Bartlett.
Okay, there was a motion made by Council Representative Mary Miller, seconded by Council Representative Francine Hall to refer Lyman Perduizo's request for assistance with a hotel to the ABC Commission for Lynette DePries to follow up with. That'll be my motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Bartlett. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. Hall. It's a referral to ABC. All in favor, raise your hand. Got 13 yes, 0 no, motion carries. Ms. Haskell, do you have something?
I was just wondering what the request was for, Mr. Bartlett.
This is for a hotel right there.
Is it? I know, but did they fill out? Do you know if the application has been completed?
He would have to fill out an application probably with the Revenue Department or with Lynette regarding treatment and assistance.
After this, Mr. Bartlett, can you just meet with me so I can make contact with this person to make sure that they are assisted?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that was 13 yes on that referral. Motion carries. Mr. Bartlett.
There was a motion made by Council Representative Francine Hall, seconded by Council Representative Sharon Lee to approve Margie Clown's request for a washer and dryer and to refer this to Support Services to assist her within 30 days. That'll be my motion.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Bartlett. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Lee. This is a referral to the Support Services. All in favor, raise your hand. Got 12 yes, 0 no, motion carries. Motion, Mr. Bartlett, go ahead.
Okay, there was a motion made by Council Representative Francine Hall, seconded by Council Representative Sharon Lee to approve Greg Thompson's request for a washer and dryer and refer to Support Services to assist him within 30 days. That's my motion.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Bartlett, second by Mr. Walters. Motions to approve and refer to Support Services. All in favor, raise your hand. $14 yes, 0 no, motion carries. Mr. Bartlett.
There was a motion made by Council Representative Sharon Lee, seconded by Council Representative Mary Miller to refer Justin Hayek's request for assistance with a hotel to the ABC Commission for Lynette DePries to follow up with. That'll be my motion, referred to ABC.
We got a motion by Mr. Bartlett, second by Mr. Walters to refer to ABC. All in favor, raise your hand. Thirteen yes, one not voting, motion carries. Mr. Bartlett?
There's a motion made by Council Representative Francine Hall, seconded by Council Representative Mary Miller to refer Bonnie Claire's request for 4 adults and 1 child to travel to her graduation to the Budget and Finance Committee. That'll be my motion, refer to Budget and Finance Committee.
We got a motion by Mr. Bartlett. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Walters to refer to Budget Committee. All in favor, raise your hand. Good. 14 yes, 0 no, motion carries. Mr. Bartlett, go ahead.
Page 4 of 6, there was a motion made by Council Representative Mary Miller, seconded by Council Representative Sharon Lee to have Support Services assist Deja Hezroat with contacting Lyman Cauliflower IHS Sanitation regarding her request for water and sewer services. That'll be my motion.
We got a motion by Mr. Bartlett. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lee.
That's the 4 of 6, top of the page. Okay, Mark. Okay, yeah.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Ms. Sharon Lee. Is it a referral? That just had to have Support Services assist DH with contacting Lyman regarding her request for water and sewer.
Yeah, that's to Support Services to have Corey assist Deja Hezroat and to receive that assistance from IHS.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce in the Woods.
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler. Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett. Francine Hall. Joe Brinksplenny. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent Tuffy Thompson.
Yes.
Yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Bartlett.
Okay, Chairman, there was a motion made by Council Representative Sharon Lee, seconded by Council Representative Mary Miller to refer Lori Marshall to Support Services to get the camper processed for purchase. That'll be my motion.
Page 4. We got a motion by Mr. Bartlett. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lee. The motion is to refer to Support Services regarding a camper for purchase. All in favor of the action, raise your hand. Twelve yes, 2 not voting, motion carries. Mr. Bartlett.
Chairman, there was a motion regarding cash relief assistance application. Motion was made by Council Representative Mary Miller, seconded by Council Representative Sharon Lee to amend the cash relief application immediately to include spouse's income amount. Should say income amount, total amount request should be included by the reason for assistance. There is that motion carried. That'll be my motion.
We got a motion by Mr. Bartlett, second by Ms. Whitebo. Comments or questions on the motion? Where's the motion at, Mr. Bartlett?
Chairman, I got the original copy, so it's different from the copy you guys got. This one has the names. The one you guys have that doesn't have the names, but for whatever reason, the bottom page is different on the original compared to yours. So
Is it page 5? It's 5 or 6 there. But
okay.
Page 5 is behind page 6.
Yes, go ahead.
The reason I made that motion is because it was getting confusing for people who come in and apply. And it was getting confusing when we were looking at it because it wasn't clear whether they were, what the amount, some people were putting on there the amount they requested, and some people were putting on there their total income. And so it varied depending on the application. So we wanted to make it clear for people who came in to fill out the application. Is that correct? That's correct, right, Council Representative Bartlett?
Any more comments or questions, council members? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Underwoods. Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick Dupreez. Karen Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett.
Yes.
Francine Hall.
Yes.
Joe Brinkstein. Bob Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent. Tuffy Thompson.
Yes.
$14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Bartlett.
Okay, Chairman, that concludes the Human Services Committee minutes for Friday, January 26th.
Do you have some more minutes?
Yeah, Chairman, I have the District 5 minutes. If you want me to
Yeah.
present the 5 minutes.
Yes. Go.
Yes. Okay, Chairman, we had a meeting Wednesday, February 7th at the Bingo Hall with the quorum present. There was a motion by Sherman Haskell, seconded by Rowan Collier to accept Paula May's resignation request. She did submit a letter to the district. Motion carried. It's in-house. There was another motion by Joseph Whiteye, seconded by Jackie Dunn, to have District 5 member be the secretary. And that motion was, there was 4 yes, 13 abstain, and 1 no. That motion failed. There was discussion on the secretary. Some felt that the secretary should be a member of District 5, and so I informed them that at the next meeting, we'll advertise it, open the floor for nominations, and if the district wants a different secretary, we can process that part when time comes. There was a motion by Candace Lee, seconded by Janie Schumacher, to set aside $600,000 from the Salzar account for the new Power Arena. That motion carried. 11 yes, 5 abstain, 3 no. Motion carried. That'll be my motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Bartlett. So financial regarding Salzar. We should probably send that one to the committee. Want to send that to the budget committee, Mr. Bartlett?
Yeah, motion referred to Budget and Finance Committee.
Okay, we got a motion to refer budget and finance. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Brings Plenty. All in favor, raise your hand. For opposed, motion carries. Yeah, just a referral. Mr. Bartlett, go ahead.
Okay, Chairman, I skipped over one. Apologize. There was a motion by Candace Lee, seconded by Janie Schumacher to hire and pay Sidney Dupree as acting secretary for district meeting.
Mr. Bartlett,
Yeah, Chairman, there's a motion by Candace Lee, seconded by Janie Schumacher to hire and pay Sidney Dupree as the acting secretary for the district meeting dated February 7th, 2024. That'll be my motion.
Where are you at?
we got a motion by Mr. Bartlett, second by Mrs. Hall, regarding the District 5 acting secretary. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Ray Sinowitz,
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Karen Dupree, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller,
I'm going to pay Sidney Dupree secretary for the meeting, correct? Yes.
Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Jared Bartlett,
Yes.
Francine Hall,
Yes.
Bill Brinkley, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
Yes.
Okay, 14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent, motion carries. Mr.
Okay,
Bartlett, go ahead.
There was discussion, Teton Duchesneau stressed that people look at the arena and it's important for it to look nice and it takes that much more money than we need to set aside. We need a good powwow place to have. It becomes part of our identity. People from all over enjoy our powwow grounds, and it's not just for District 5, it's for everyone. People really look forward to our powwow. That was discussion. There was discussion from Joseph Whiteeyes, talked about canceling all contracts that are with KLJ and how that they are a huge threat to the tribe. Mr. Whiteeyes read the resolution into record. There was a motion made by Joseph Whiteeyes, seconded by Jackie Dunn, to attach a resolution to the motion that was passed in November District 5 meeting and to reaffirm the motion. Chairman, is this, from my understanding at the district meeting, there was 2 or 3 other districts that may have, I believe Mr. Russo and another representatives tabled this action. Do you want to table this until we discuss that, or is Dakota still going to come give that report? I think those actions are tabled. This is the same resolution that they have. It's already been tabled.
Yeah, we can get a hold of Dakota and you can come over and go over those KLJ contracts that he's currently operating. So if you want to wait on that one, then we can bring those back up when after we hear from Dakota, so everyone has understanding of the role they do for the tribe.
Okay. I'll hold that up until we get the report.
Okay.
There's a motion by. Okay, there's discussion by Brandon Hockeygo, his business degree, and talked about the business plan and the goals that he has for the tribe. He wishes to open up a bingo hall for the tribe, to have a restaurant, bingo, taken to create class for 4 bands, and needs a building to get business loan. Brandon wants to create more jobs for people to work for the tribe. So that was the discussion. There was a motion by Joseph Whiteeye, seconded by Cindy Shad, to assist Brandon Hockeygo on opening a restaurant, bingo hall, and to use the bingo hall building. That'll be my motion. That motion carried.
Okay, we got a motion by Mr. Bartlett, second by Mr. Bringsplenny. Miss Lee.
Thank you, Chairman LeBeau. Credco right now is working on opening up the bingo hall, but moving it to a different location because it's going to cost them quite a bit to fix all the damage from those high winds and get it ready to be a usable building. So right now, the EDC committee is a temporary gaming commission because we have to have a gaming commission in place first. And we are on Friday, February 16th, we're doing the second of 3 trainings that are required by NIGC. So with Jim McGee out of NIGC in Rapid City. So he'll be doing that training for us. Then we need one more training before we can be certified to oversee the opening of the bingo operation. So Credco has been assigned that and we are working on it. So I don't know, I can't support this motion to have a tribal member do it. Where would Brandon get the $1 million it's going to cost to get that bingo hall ready? You know, he probably doesn't realize the damage that's been done to the building and what it's going to cost to get it fixed and all that. So I was just letting council know about that. Thank you.
Any other comments? Treasurer said, what about the funerals?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too,
Oh,
Mr.
go ahead.
I was going to say, what about the funerals that we have there? People need a place to have the funerals. They've been having funerals there. And we use it for emergency shelter, don't we, sometimes during the winter? So I thank you.
Mr. Woods?
Yeah, Chairman, Council, District 5, this is motion is kind of supported, but there should be a little bit more information, like time, you know, it's going to be open and stuff like that. You know, a little more information. And then let the person know that there's funerals there, or, you know, stuff like that. If they could come up with how long they're going to be open, when they're going to be open, that kind of information there. Did they have that or?
The discussion came up, and the idea was to, Chairman, I could change the motion and refer to the administration to assist. So the discussion came up that we would refer this to the administration. And basically what's happening is members of District 5 feel that the bingo hall should have been already open. They're saying that they're having bingo down at the bars. So they're kind of laughing at that, you know, the alcohol establishments are having their own little bingo when the tribe has this bingo hall just sitting here and not being used for anything. So Brandon's vision that he shared with the district is that he wants to open a restaurant / bingo. So he wants to do bingo and restaurant, provide jobs for tribal members rather than just letting it sit vacant. So District 5 feels the tribe ain't working fast enough to get it done, and as we're using it as a funeral place slash homeless shelter, so it's not really a bingo hall right now as it is, but we want to get it going, so to speak. So
it's not gonna happen for like a couple of months.
might not happen for a while. Brandon says he needs a building to get his loan. So that's with 4 bands.
So you should be showing the business plan.
Yeah.
That's what, you refer it to administration to look at the business plan?
Yeah, Chairman, I'll make a motion to refer this to the administration.
Okay, motion is to refer to the administration. Second still there. Second still there by Mr. Plenty. All in favor, raise your hand. Ten yes. 4 not voting. Motion carries. 1 opposed. 2 opposed. 3. Mr. Bartlett?
Okay, Chairman, there's a motion by Joseph Whitehead, seconded by Brandon Hockigo to get the largest TV or projector for the that's a typo again there, but that's supposed to be for the agency building. Right now, our homeless shelter, the agency building, they have about this much people in this room watching a small TV in the corner. So the district felt that they need a bigger TV for our people that are homeless, that are sitting there all watching that same TV. Right now, they got a small TV. So the district's asking that the tribe purchase a larger TV for them. I'll make a motion to refer that to administration.
Okay, we got a motion to refer to administration regarding the TV for the shelter. Mr. Bartlett, second by Mr. Walters. All in favor, raise your hand. Opposed? 2 not voting. 10 yes, 2 not voting. Motion carries. Mr. Bartlett?
Thank you, Chairman. That concludes the District 5 meeting minutes for February 7th. Thank you.
Yeah. 10 yes, 2 not voting. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, would you read the results, the vote for that last motion?
It was 10 yes, 2 not voting. Motion carries. Ms. Whitewell? You have your minutes? Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, we had an education meeting on January 24th, 2024. I know that council is in a hurry and there's a lot of minutes to cover, so present was myself, Council Representative Sharon Lee, Council Representative Steve Moran, Council Representative Kendrick DePriest, Council Representative John Kessler, Kelsey Haskell, Thad Rose, Joe Brinks Plenty, and Council Representative Francine Hall. And Mr. Chairman, if you look on there, I marked the times they came into the meeting and then when they had to leave for meetings and travel and other things. So the votes aren't going to be all consistent all the time because some people came in later and some people had to leave early. We'll go just to the ones that require tribal council action. There was a motion by Council Representative John Kessler, second by, and I don't have that in there, I apologize, to approve the December 2023 CRST Head Start budget. I believe it was Council Representative Rose, is that correct? Thad Rose. Motion carried with a vote of 6 yes, 0 no, and 0 not voting. That'll be my motion.
We got a motion by Ms. Whitebull, second by Mr. Rose. Comments or questions on the motion? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryson Woods,
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran,
Yes. Yes.
Tenai Junior,
Yes.
John Kessler, Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell, Thad Rose,
Yes.
Yes.
Francine Hall,
yes.
Joe Graceway, Bob Walter, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, there was a discussion on the CRST enterprise account that needs to be reimbursed to Takini School. There was a motion by Council Representatives Francine Hall, second by Thad Rose, to recommend a tribal council to approve and refer to the budget committee to pay Takini School in the amount not to exceed $52,116 for Takini housing that the tribe collected during the time the tribe handled the finances of Takini School. I just recently read a letter from the Treasurer Keckler, who's arranging a meeting to go through the documents and process whatever they need to. So I'll make a motion to refer it to the treasurer. Is that correct, Treasurer Keckler? Do I refer this to your department? I read a memo which you'd sent. Yeah, so that's why I'll just refer it to your office. So I'll amend my motion to refer it to, if the committee's okay with that, to Treasurer Keckler, because he's taking care of it now.
Got a motion to refer to the tribal treasurer. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. Hall. Motions by Mrs. Whitebull. It's a referral. All in favor, raise your hand. The 13 yes, 0 no, motion carries. Madam Secretary, or Mrs. Whitebull, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Waiver of Indian preference. There was a motion by Council Representative John Kessler, second by Kenrick DePreez, to recommend to the CRC Tribal Council to approve the waiver of Indian preference request for Takini School at the recommendation of the Takini School Board for Philomar Avia, first grade teacher. Motion carried with a vote of 7 yes, 0 no, and 0 voting. Takini School has had a first grade teacher vacancy since December 23rd, 2023. This position has been advertised in the Native Sun, West River Eagle, school website, and school Facebook page. Since first grade students are in their foundational skills of learning, so it's imperative to have a certified first grade teacher in the position. The Takini School Board met on January 8th, 2024, and approved of a motion to hire Philomar Avia as the first grade teacher and is requesting a waiver of Indian preference by the tribe. You have the school board minutes attached in the Indian preference section of the 802 of the CRST Education Code and Section 307, powers and duties. I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Mrs. Whitebull. Is there a second? Second by Mr. DePreez. Comments or questions on the motion? Madam Secretary, please call the vote.
Bryson Woods,
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran,
Yes.
Tenai Junior,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett,
Yes.
Francine Hall, Joe Brinksplenny, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mrs. Whitebull.
Thank you. There was a tribal council action, motion by Council Representative Sharon Lee, second by Kenrick DePreez, to approve by resolution that the Cheyenne River Tribal Council supports the Takini School Board in requesting that all audits are conducted on site instead of virtually. Motion carries with a vote of 7 yes, 0 no, and 0 no voting. Mr. Chairman, I have a resolution, and I'll start with the, fourth whereas the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, CRST is granted to the Methodist School on the Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation under a grant from the United States Department of Interior for Reading Education and the United States Department of Education. And whereas the Methodist School had a statement of work for quarters 504, it's the right one, let's see, it's the wrong one.
Is it right behind the minutes?
It should be, it's supposed to be, I've had copies of it by the federal education, we're organized when I give it to them, and then we'll get out them. But that's not the resolution, that's for Takini School quarters, but there was also a resolution that was included that had we were gonna support the school boards, if you look here, Council, in the packet, the Takini School Board has their own resolution. So asking for the audience to be done virtually, or not virtually, but in person. So we had a resolution which was attached, which talked about tribal council, and it was done, and it should have been in the minutes, and I don't know why it's not there. So I'm going to continue to look on these minutes. And if I can't find it, I'm going to make a motion by resolution.
Oh, that's in here.
Is it, did you find it?
I see the Takini School Board one.
Yeah, there should be something similar to that, but it's the tribal one, it's a fake one.
Oh, I see.
It's a tribal one. And it's not in here, so I'm just gonna. Yeah, that's the school board one. There should be one. So, here is my motion. Council, I'm sorry, I normally have these minutes together, and I go through them myself, but I had somebody else do it for me, and, but I'm still gonna leave my motion as is, because there is a resolution, and, I don't have copies for you, but I have a hard copy, so I'll just read it directly. It's in here, is it? Would you like to read that into record, please?
Okay, whereas, I'll read the third whereas. Whereas the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribal Council has authority pursuant to Article 4, Section 1P of the Tribal Constitution to adopt resolutions regulating the procedure of the council itself and of their tribal agencies, excuse me, and tribal officials of the reservation. And whereas the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe Education Committee approved the Takini School Constitution, which delegated responsibility for the operation of the school to an elected school board, and whereas the school board has the authority and responsibility to properly maintain school finances pursuant to Section 1.05, and these are all in parentheses, 1, 9, 10, and 13 of the school board policies and procedures. And whereas the school board has recognized that it is in the best interest of Takini School, its employees, students, and tribal members to have all audits performed on-site instead of virtually. Therefore, be it resolved that the Takini School Board hereby requires that all audits are to be conducted on-site instead of virtually. Now therefore be it further resolved that nothing herein shall be construed as a waiver of the sovereign immunity of the Takini School Board or of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe. And the disclaimer.
Okay, we got the motion by Mrs. Weibel, second by Mr. Kessler to approve the resolution, the tribe's format. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Is it in here? Francine said it was.
I just have the Keening one. I can't find that.
She read it into record, so when you gave them out as secretary, and then I'll email her a copy for that student. Because apparently nobody else has it in the minutes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the Keeney one, the Keeney school board one, is what she read.
It's similar to that, except for
No, that's not it. Mr. Chairman, we'll just go on, and then what I'll do is I'll make that motion. I'll make the motion to approve, and basically that's what it's gonna say. Instead of it saying Tuckini School Board, the resolution will say the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribal Council supports the, request of the Tuckini School Board. So that'll be my motion, Mr. Chairman, motion by resolution, and I'll get it to you.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to, by resolution. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote when you're ready.
While she's getting ready for the vote, the reason we're doing this is because everybody knows when you do audits and you do it virtually, it doesn't work as effectively as you have somebody sitting right next to you and you can share the documents and discuss it. Do you know what I'm talking about? And so they want to have the audits by the auditors for the Bureau in person instead of on virtual. That's what they want. The Tuckini School Board and the Tuckini School, is they want us to meet with them in person, not send the documents and then share them online and go back and forth.
Regarding Rebecca number?
No, these are the BIE auditors that audit the school. It's a good motion. Try to find them. Bryce Underwoods.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
12 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 3 absent, motion carries. Mrs. Whitebo?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Tribal Council. I promise I will get you copies of them because I do have them in a file. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I'd like to continue and with the council's patience. Thank you so much. Mr. Chairman, I want to just state for the record, this isn't a tribal council action, but 4 students were selected by NASA for the project they submitted. Superintendent Maresca reported to the committee that
Teospa students, Vio Gray Eagle, Angel Benson, Callan Bissett, and Music Gray Eagle were one of 60 of winners of NASA's TechRise Student Challenge, and they were the only winners from the state of South Dakota. What they did is they designed a flight experiment to test a rocket-powered lander that will launch this summer in California. The rocket-powered lander will fly for approximately 2 minutes at an altitude of 80 feet over a test field designated to look like the moon's surface. The winning team was awarded $1,500 to build their experiment, a flight box in which to build it, and assigned spot to test their experiment on a NASA-sponsored flight, and technical support during the experiment build phase from future engineers advisors who will help students learn the skills they need to turn their experiment ideas into reality. Mr. Chairman, I wanted that on the record because we do have students who are succeeding and successful in our schools. And I would like to ask, Mr. Chairman, we have created some certificates that we're going to be having you sign off on, the executives, not executively, but I'd like to have a session next month in March to invite these 4 students to the tribal council to share their experiment. They got a PowerPoint presentation on everything that they'd like to share with council. And they're going to be traveling, I believe, and I believe it is to NASA, to California. And I would like to refer to the treasurer to work with them to get them some spending money, because I'm sure they're going to want to buy souvenirs, you know, NASA souvenirs and stuff like that. I believe they're already going to be, their flights and everything's already taken care of, I believe. So I would like to know if we could put them on the agenda next month for March's session. And I think they just need probably an hour, maybe 45 minutes, but they've got a slide presentation. And I'm really excited for these kids, and they're really excited. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, we can do that. Put them on the agenda.
Okay, thank you. With that, do I need to make a motion to refer these 4 students to the treasurer to work with them?
Fill out a letter. Send it to ABC.
Maybe they could bring it to the March council session next month when they come. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, there was another motion by, if we go down below that, there's a tribal council action, reduction in speed for school bus stops. There was a motion, Mr. Chairman, while we're on Takini School Committee, if you look at your resolutions I handed out this morning, there's a resolution which I believed we already approved, but nobody can find a record of it. So I'm going to read it back into the record and ask for it to be approved. If you go to the 1, 2, 3, 4th, whereas it's on Takini school quarters, whereas pursuant to CRST bylaws Article 8, Section 2, the Tribal Council has the responsibility to promote and increase learning and education among members of the tribe. And whereas the tribe is the grantee for the Takini School on the Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation under a grant from the United States Department of Interior, Bureau of Indian Education, and United States Department of Education. And whereas the Takini School had a statement of work for living quarters 504, 505, 506, 507, and 508 for a reshingle project issued on July 17th, 2016. And whereas the Takini School Quarters project never commenced, bringing further extensive damages to the existing quarters. And whereas the Bureau of Indian Affairs is scheduled within days to begin soliciting bids for 5 quarters renovation. And whereas the Takini School Board met on December 14th, 2023, and by motion declared the 5 quarters that the BIA identified as poor condition in accordance with the housing manual are in actuality on the condition of remodeling. And whereas instead of repairing or renovating the quarters, the Takini School Board is requesting the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe as grantee to now demand the BIA replace the existing 5 quarters with 5 new quarters for the Takini School. Now therefore be it resolved that Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe and the Takini School Board hereby notify the BIA that the Takini Quarters renovation project is not acceptable and demands that the BIA instead replace the existing 5 quarters with new stick-built quarters. And it's got the disclaimer. Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve, to have you sign immediately and send off. Thank you.
Got a motion by Mrs. Weibel to approve, second by Mr. Kessler. Comments or questions on the action? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryson Woods, Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett, 20, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent, Tuffy Thompson. Absent.
Twelve yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 3 absent, motion carries. Mrs. Whiteball.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I would like to, we didn't get a chance, the resolution that was given to me is in the Head Start, and I should have did it when we were doing the Head Start, minutes or section, and what I'd like to do is, I have a resolution in front of me, Mr. Chairman. Many years ago, when we did the draft plan for the touch the lands, I thought we had included the Head Start as a building for a school and a bus garage. And so when I looked at the plan that was approved, it wasn't on there. So, working together, Council Representative Rose, I believe, is the one who drafted this, and then we sent it to, I believe, Attorney General, Attorney Executive to review. Living on the China River Sioux Reservation, through 7 Head Start classrooms spread throughout communities on the reservation. And whereas recent census data gathered in 2022 shows that at least 562 children on the reservation, age 0 to 5. The breakdown of these numbers is as follows: age 0 to 1, 88, 2, 114, 3, 108, 4, 114, and 5, 138. Those are the ones who are that are known to be, have data on them. Whereas a great number of these children live in the community of Eagle Butte, which is the largest community on the reservation, and which continues to grow in population each year. And whereas the tribe, my mic wasn't on, I'm so sorry. Whereas CRST Head Start program serves children and families living on the Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation through 7 Head Start classrooms spread throughout communities on the reservation. And whereas recent census data gathered in 2022 shows at least 562 children on the reservation age 0 to 5. The breakdown of these numbers is as follows: age 0 to 1, 88, 2, 114, age 3, 108, age 4, 114, age 5, 138. Whereas a great number of these children live in the community of Eagle Butte, which is the largest community on the reservation and which continues to grow in population each year. And whereas the tribe is in the process of developing a 240-acre tract of land in the northeast area of Eagle Butte called Touch the Clouds subdivision. This development will include future housing sites for up to 900 residents, retail and commercial ventures at a new tribal administration building, elementary and high school, as well as other tribal programs. And whereas with this amount of growth in northeast Eagle Butte, there is a need to also plan for and dedicate space within the Touch the Clouds subdivision for a safe, clean, and fun learning environment for our youngest tribal members and their families who are ages 3 to 5. And whereas the CRST Economic Development Committee met in January 2024 and voted to dedicate space with the Touch the Clouds subdivision for a new Head Start Center, which would include classrooms, administrative officers, and a transportation service area. Now therefore be it resolved that the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe hereby reserves and dedicates a 10-acre tract of land within the Touch the Clouds subdivision to be used for a Head Start Center for the community of Eagle Butte. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council hereby directs the Tribal Projects Office to consult with the Tribal Education Agency to determine the optimal location for a Head Start Center within the Touch the Clouds subdivision. And it's got the disclaimer. Mr. Chairman, I want to make a motion to approve.
Okay, we got a motion to approve by Mrs. Whiteball, second by Mrs. Hall.
I would like to thank Council Representative Thad Rose for drafting the resolution. You didn't draft this one. Then it was Tracy, our education attorney who drafted this resolution for us after meeting with the Head Start and then providing the data. Quit being so humble.
Okay, talk, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know I didn't draft this one, but in the be it further resolved, where it directs Tribal Projects Office to consult with Tribal Education Agency, you should probably input Planning Department and the company that has the Touch the Cloud Master Plan Development, right? Which I believe is KLJ.
Sure, we can do that.
See, if I drafted it, I would have caught that.
Okay.
No. Thank you.
We could do that, Mr. Chairman. We could add those if Madam Secretary got those names. Do you want to add those names to the record?
Yeah, after Tribal Education Agency would comma Planning Department and probably KLJ Engineering Firm's the one that has the master plan, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Okay, motion's been amended to include those.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, second still there. Yep, second still there. Planning office.
The Tribal Council, the reason for this is because when we started the new CEB school, we had to have a ground of land. We had to identify a ground of land. Now that we have identified and will identify a ground of land for the Head Start, we can now pursue funding, which is available. We can now start the process to start working on it. And this is the first step. And we do have if you look at the Head Start building on Main Street, they have the buses parked in the driveway back there. They need a bus garage to house their buses. Our little classrooms are over here across from the Powwow grounds, and they really should be over there with the main center. So this administration this Head Start building would be able to do that. And so it would be a lot easier for the parents, the students, and the staff. Thank you.
Mr. Brinks, planning, good.
Quick question. I know we tabled those resolutions in regards to KLJ, where you're going to put KLJ in this resolution. Shouldn't that be addressed first?
Mr. Chairman, we can pull KLJ out. I don't want to stop the process. Do you know what I mean? And if we have to add them later, we can add them. But I want to move this process forward because we have a plan, and it's going to require council to live out of a suitcase if you're willing to do it and help us get it. Do you know what I mean? But we're going to go after it, and we're going to get that Head Start building now that we're getting a new school. Thank you. We can do it.
Are you changing your motion?
We'll take KLJ out. If it's going to stop people from council from voting for this resolution, we'll remove KLJ because we've got tribal projects in there, we've got planning, and the education agency director. So we'll work with them.
Okay, motion's been changed back to its original. Second still there, Mrs. Hall. Okay, Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Indowitz,
Go on.
Steve Moran. Yes. Ted Ive Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller. Yes. Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett. Absent. Francine Hall. Yes. Joe Brings Plenty. Bob Walters. Ronald Rusaw. Absent. Tuffy Thompson. Absent.
12 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 3 absent, motion carries. Mrs. Whiteball.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you go down next to the next page, you should be up to 3 and 6. Also. Oh, thank you. we're still on page 206, a reduction in speed for school bus stops. Mr. Chairman, there was a motion by Council Representative Stavros, second by Francine Hall, to refer the speed reduction to the Roads Committee and the Law Committee with the recommendation to install a speed apparatus for the Ridgeview area. Motion carried with the vote of 8 yes, 0 no, and 0 not voting. There was a letter of response from the South Dakota Department of Transportation, and that is attached in the minutes. And I want to thank Council Representative Rose. He went over and met with Dakota at the Board Committee, and he has some information for us, and I appreciate his help. Go ahead, you want to share that with us?
Yes, good.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I did draft this one, so if you catch errors, let me know. But I also sent it to the Tetcha's in-house legal for review and grammatical corrections.
Mr. Chairman, if you look, there's a letter from the South Dakota Department of Transportation. If you look, Council, there's a letter from the South Dakota Department of Transportation. And so they came out and looked at it, and the situation you describes point to enforcement issues since the traveling public is already ignoring the posted speed limit signs. Please feel free to contact us if you have further questions. And then it said they sent somebody out. Thank you for your letter to Secretary Junt regarding your requested safety improvements on US Highway 212. And it said lowering the speed limit through Ridgeview and installation of a school bus stop ahead sign. Secretary Junt has forwarded your correspondence to my office, and we have collaborated with our peer region traffic engineer to review your request and have visited the site at Ridgeview to ensure we capture your concern for this section of highway. The speed limit through Ridgeview is currently reduced from 65 to 55 miles per hour through the community. The methodology to set speed limits is based on performing a speed study and then setting the posted speed to what 85% of the traffic is operating at. Based on our on-site review, it appears traffic speeds are operating near or above the speed limit, and we are concerned that by artificially reducing the speed limit, we would actually be exacerbating the issue. We have witnessed this numerous times at other locations as drivers typically drive at a speed they feel comfortable with, regardless of what the posted speed limit is. This creates a differential between drivers that obey the speed limit versus those that ignore the speed limit and drive it as their perceived safe operating speed. Therefore, we believe the current posted speed limit is the appropriate speed for this section. At the bus stop location, our understanding is that the bus is presently only picking up children on the north side of the highway and that children do not need to cross the highway when getting on or off the bus. The site visit confirmed that ample stopping site distance exists in both directions for the traveling public to see a bus with its flashing lights on. Therefore, school bus stop ahead signs are not warranted. But to improve safety at this location, the department will install a school bus stop ahead sign to alert westbound traffic of the bus stop location. So that's why Council Representative Thad Rose spoke with the Roads Dakota Long Break. I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with the response from the state because it deals with the safety of our children, and with the blessing of Representative Knife, I worked with the Roads Department Director to draft this resolution. I'll start at the fourth whereas. The Education Committee of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe has heard numerous times from the Superintendent of Teoshpeh-Dopa School, Brent Maresca, with concerns for the safety of the children who are picked up in Ridgeview by their school buses. And whereas on October 11, 2023, the Teoshpeh-Dopa School Board at a duly called meeting referred a motion to the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe's Education Committee that requests the following: speed reduction at school bus stops ahead signs in Ridgeview, South Dakota. And whereas on October 19, 2023, at a duly called meeting of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribal Education Committee, there was a motion and a second with a passing vote from the Education Committee for Dr. Sherry Farley, the Director of Tribal Education Department, to write a letter to the South Dakota Department of Transportation requesting speed reduction and school bus signs for Ridgeview, South Dakota. And whereas on January 17th, 2023, the Department of Transportation The South Dakota Department of Transportation sent a response to Dr. Sherry Farley's letter that stated more reduction in speed in Ridgeview was not warranted and the ample stopping site distances for school buses was observed in each direction that ultimately resulted in the declination of the Education Department's request with the exemption of adding one school bus stop ahead sign for the westbound traffic. And whereas on January 24th, 2023, at a duly called meeting of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribal Education Department, the letter from the South Dakota Department of Transportation was reviewed and deemed insufficient in meeting the safety requirements necessary for the children in Ridgeview, South Dakota, resulting in a motion to refer the letter to the Roads and Law and Order Committee that was made with a second and passing vote. And whereas the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribal Council feels that it is in the tribe's best interest to have the speed reduced to 45 miles per hour through Ridgeview, South Dakota, and to have flashing school bus stop ahead signs installed for both directions of traveling traffic to alert drivers of the school bus stop location. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribal Council does hereby approve for the reduction in speed to 45 miles per hour and the installation of flashing school bus stop ahead signs in Ridgeview, South Dakota to improve the safety and well-being of the children being picked up by school buses, and the disclaimer.
Thank you. Motion to approve.
We got a motion approved by Mrs. Whitebowl. Second by Mr. Rose. Comments? Mr. Moran, go ahead.
Duly. It should be D-U-L-Y. Yes, dual, right? You said to get you. No, it's spelled wrong.
I'll make motion to approve with amendment. Correction?
I don't know. We've got a motion and a second. Motions includes the corrections. Second still there by Mr. Rose. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Ray Cinderwoods.
Oh, huh.
Dean Moran. Ben Act Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler.
Yes.
Henry Patrice. Yes. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller.
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Pat Rowe.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett. Absent Francine Hall. Yes. Joe Grigsby. Paul Walters. Ronald Russo. Absent Tuffy Thompson.
Yes.
$13 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 2 absent. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the Education Committee, there was a window replacement project. There was a motion by Council Representatives Francine Hall, second by Kenrick Dupriest to 638 the window project at Teoshpadopa School by executive resolution. Motion carried with a vote of 6 yes, 0 no, 0 not voting. At that time, Dr. Farley had spoken with Lyle Smith, Tribal Projects Director, and he reported that he would send a letter and get Chairman LeBeau's signature and get it to the Great Plains region. If you look in your attachments, you see a letter from Chairman LeBeau, you see a letter from Timothy LaPointe giving us options. There's also an executive resolution that was approved of and signed by Vice Chair Bob Walters. And I was informed and I noticed an email which stated, and I please hope that our tribal director, projects director didn't circumvent council by contacting the higher ups and telling them that he would not do the Windows project after it was signed by executive because he was too busy. So that was done. And Mr. Chairman, I hope that you speak with the tribal projects manager. We're not supposed to talk about personnel issues, but I hope you'll deal with it and handle it because this is an executive resolution and it did come out of the committee. And so we followed the process. So my motion, I don't think I need to make this motion because it was already done, correct? Yeah. And you read it into record, I read it, believe, on council floor, correct?
I believe so, yes.
So it's a council action, so thank you. I'll move on, Mr. Chairman, with that. Now we have there was a council action to advertise the CEB school supervisor principal position. There was a motion to re-advertise the Bureau of Education school supervisor principal position for 7 applicants. Council Representative Sharon Lee made the motion. Council Representative Francine Hall seconded the motion. Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion. So the motion is to re-advertise the Bureau of Indian Education school supervisor principal position. That for 7 applicants comes out. That's a correction.
We got a motion by Mrs. Weibel, second by Mrs. Hall. Comments or questions, council members? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Underwoods,
Uh-huh.
Steve Moran. Ted Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller,
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett, absent Francine Hall, Joe Brinksplenny, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
Yes.
Thirteen yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 2 absent, motion carries. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, there was a motion by 2 new school buses for CEB school. There was a motion by Council Representative Kelsey Haskell, second by John Kessler, to give 2 school buses that the tribe owns to the CEB school, and for the tribe to immediately expedite the process, and for the tribe to work with Harley Morgan at the CEB school. Motion carried with the vote of 8 yes, 0 no, 0 not voting. 4 absent. I will make that motion, and then if I get a second, I'll explain.
We got a motion by Mrs. Weibel, second by Mrs. Haskell. Go ahead.
Tribal Council, the CEB school's charter bus is broken down and they're waiting on parts. It was reported at the committee that they've ordered 3 new school buses, but they won't be ready for a while. We had 2 parents called in and people called in stating we have two school buses sitting vacant and not being used. And we informed them that these buses were awarded to the Volkswagen settlement. So we have a motion on the floor in a second to give those 2 buses to the BIE schools so they can transport their kids. Because right now they're transporting them in vans and Suburbans, excuse me. So this will help them. Thank you.
Okay,
You know, I can understand that, you know, we want to be generous, but there are things that come up where we need to transport people also. Why can't we just let them use it instead of transferring ownership?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman.
go ahead, Bob.
Mr. Walters, Ms. Weibel.
If I remember right, someone came over to the office that one day and talked about it and why they couldn't use them buses, because they don't belong to them. They're not GSA. And if we're going to do anything, instead of giving them buses, just like Mrs. Hall said, we can use them to transport people to Rapid City or whatever to go to these meetings. Lease them to them.
That was, Mr. Chairman. That was discussed and that is an option. However, the council reps made the motion. It was Council Representative Kelsey Haskell, second by John Kessler. And so it came from committee and it was voted on with the vote of 8 yes, 0 no, 0 not voting, and 4 absent. So that's 8 council reps. So that's, you know what I mean? I'm putting the motion, motion's been made second. We'll vote on it. If it doesn't pass, then we'll come up with another solution. But I don't feel, that's 8 council reps that I'm gonna, if I pull my motion, I'm not gonna do that. If they don't choose not to support it here, that's okay. But they made it in committee and I at least owe it to be loyal to my committee members to make the motion. Thank you. I'll leave my motion.
Mr. Kessler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can the motion maker amend motion to include a legal review?
Sure. I can do that. Mr. Chairman, it's no different than the charter bus that was purchased by the tribe many, many years ago. And what we did is we turned it over to the CB school, had to get it, they worked on it and it became the possession of the Bureau of Indian BIE. So it can be done. And like I said, we'll just see where this motion goes, but I'll put legal review too.
Mr. Moran?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In that discussion, what I remember is a vehicle was hit. I think it was one of the, not the vans, but the other vehicle, Suburban. And the thought was, if I was a bus sitting there, that person that might have seen the bus and not hit it, an accident. So it's really important we do put them in buses when they go somewhere. Don't want to get anybody else hurt. Thank you.
Mr. In the Woods?
Chairman.
Ms. Haskell?
Many moons ago, we had asked for inventory of all our vehicles that are ours. And that's when we bought that Peterson place. The college had some stuff in there. It goes way back then, but can we get a list? Do we have that list? Inventory of all our equipment and vehicles? Because you see some 70s Chevy pickups, 3 of them sitting there by Wu's Den for years, you know. Could they salvage and make one run, you know? Just let 3 of them sitting there. We have an inventory. We should know what's wrong with them. I know Mr. Vance got one of them running, and they're still utilizing it. So if those 3 Chevy pickups are usable, you know, you could imagine we could use them for the res runners or whatever, you know, haul wood to people or whatever. But can we get that inventory list, or can you check into that? Because this is actually a long time ago that we're supposed to have an inventory of everything. We should have that because they put a stamp on everything, you know. They put a stamp on everything, so that we should have that list. Can you kind of, when you get that, can you get it to council? Whenever you get that together?
Yeah, I know where it's at, and Treasurer.
You hiding it?
Yeah, he has the whole thing.
All right, watch this.
Council, I know we want to help, but I don't think they're not doing their part. I think they're renting the vehicle and they're getting these kids to their basketball games. They rented a charter bus, and you seen it parked out here the other morning when we came to work. So it's working out. I don't think we need to do this action at this point. That's my opinion, but Ms. Haskell, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Like what was the alternative here? These buses are just they're just gonna sit there and get vandalized, and then as soon as I make the motion to put them to use, then we all want to use them? I don't understand. They were just sitting there with nothing. I think there might even be a broken window by now, but they've been sitting there since before I got sworn in. Let our kids need them. The school needs them, and it's not because the school's sitting there twiddling their thumbs. It's because they can't get parts for these buses. The charter bus is under warranty, and they still can't get parts for that, so they're renting a charter bus. I'm voting yes, regardless of what that's my vote.
So, Mr. Chairman, what's the process of just giving away tribal property? That's tribal property. What's the process to give it away? If not, I want to pick up, give them to me.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
you know, we're sitting here. The one we should be asking to hold accountable is the BIE. You know, why does the tribe always have to step in, and they have a trust responsibility? And I think we need to hold them to their feet to the fire. If we need buses, then we should get the buses, have the BIE get us buses. And, you know, I remember when, under Chairman Frazier's administration, when they were doing the no DAPL protests, You know, we sent our people up there to support them. And so when I heard that the tribe got their own buses, I thought, yes, you know, because we could transport when, you know, we need support, you know, and we ask our people to attend a meeting. You know, we've got a big meeting coming up on the 17th regarding the Black Hills. You know, if people want to go to that, you know, we should provide them an opportunity and the transportation. If we've got a bus, you know, let's use it to do that. So that's what the purpose of those buses was. You know, we don't have any. And then we go hat in hand begging, you know, the school or whatever, and we're turned down, you know. And so here we've got our own. And, you know, if we want to take a group of elderly off the reservation to go shopping, or, you know, we've got our transportation. So I can see either leasing it or allowing them to use it, but I still think the tribe needs to have its own transportation. Thank you, and let's hold the BIE accountable for getting us new buses. Thank you.
Council members, any more comments? We got a motion and a second. I believe we should have a resolution though for something like this. We're just gonna hand over property to the federal government, who has, you know, billions in their budgets.
Mr. Chairman, I would suggest, I mean, I believe an MOA can be worked on with regards to that. But as the chairman of the Education Committee, I had 8 people vote yes. And so if we need to have a resolution, we can do that. The motion didn't say by resolution, it just said immediately to work with and expedite the process. So I think that a resolution could be drafted if this motion passes and brought back. Or could be done executively if this motion passes.
Mr. Underwoods?
Yeah, Chairman, it seems like we have, you know, like these public schools, they're building and they got new buses and stuff like that. And we got that charter bus for Butte, but, you know, these are loaner buses, or we're giving it to the Bureau, to the CEB.
I believe the motion in committee was to give them to, looking at the motion, and the motion was to give them to the school.
You think that BIE would do that for us?
No, I don't think, I don't know.
Would they, hey, we need to borrow 2 buses, you know, we have them. But, I think, I mean, we need to give them buses, but I think we need to have some kind of a form, because of they have insurance and liability, you know, those things covered. Kind of an AG thing, I guess. I don't know, Chairman, what do you think? Some kind of a agreement or document to sign over stuff? That the insurance and all that's covered and all that?
I believe there's a process.
So we should go by that process then, have an agreement. Just like IHS now, we have to have a MOU or MOA before they do anything with us. Just the liability part of it. I think we should refer it to administration to work that out. Approve and work it out, or if we're just giving it to them, you know.
Yeah. We already gave them a charter bus already.
I know we did.
Look what happened to that.
I remember we did that.
Yeah.
So there should be some kind of an understanding or an agreement.
Yeah.
Agreement's a little stronger than understanding. Memorandum of understanding or memorandum of agreement. And that's how we deal with the federal agencies. Because that's what they expect out of us. Just to cover all the bases. I think we should have the AG look at that too, before you put your name on it. Because you're going to have to sign it over to them. That's what I'd recommend, Chairman, Council.
Mr. Walters, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, isn't their vehicles GSA vehicles? Well, they can go GSA and get some more. Well, then they can go back again. Mr. Chairman, a while back, a gentleman came and shared what he'd like to see done with the two buses that are tribal buses. And Mrs. Hall hit it. She hit the nail on the head. Talked about if elders wanted to go out of town, go to Rapid City and go shopping for the day, load them up and take them to Rapid City in that bus. Maybe 20 elders will go at a time. Go to Walmart and Pier, do something to let them get out of town for a free ride. I don't think we should be giving away our tribal property. They're government. They can do it. There's a way for them to get things. They got the money. Thank you, Chairman.
Mr. Thompson?
Mr. Knife said if we're putting that agreement, we better put that song in there. Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and...
Okay, we had a lot of comments and motion and a second. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Underwoods.
Wow.
Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Ive Jr. John Kessler.
Yes.
Kenrick DePriest. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller.
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett. Absent Francine Hall.
No.
Joe Brinksplenny. Bob Walters.
No.
Ronald Russo. Absent Tuffy Thompson.
No.
Nine yes, 3 no, 1 abstain, 2 absent, motion carries. Mrs. Whiteball?
Thank you, Tribal Council, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next motion is, there's an infant and toddler program update. Dr. Sherry Poitra, Dr. Farley has sent a letter to Chairman LeBeau and to the supervisor. Her name is Dr. Sherry Poitra. To request that Dr. Berdina Sosi, Education Program Administrator for Tribally Controlled Schools, comes to the CRST reservation and visits with the infant and toddler program, the staff, the education committee, and the grad schools, because her supervisor will not allow her to travel. She's not been to our reservation at all, and we'd like her to visit our schools, like her to travel on our roads, so she'll have a better feel for what we need and don't need. And so that's what's going to be happening. But in the meantime, Mr. Chairman, we have this resolution with regards, it had a legal review. It's regarding the contract for the BIE for the infant and toddler, CRST infant and toddler program. There is a memo from Attorney Zephyr. I have reviewed the attached draft resolution, which would authorize the tribe to provide funding for and contract with the Bureau of Indian Education to administer infant and toddler services for school year 2024-2025. This is a renewed agreement between the tribe and the BIE. The funding supports the activities of the Cheyenne River Infant and Toddler Program. This agreement supports the goals of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe Education Agency, and other than that, the amount of funding is identical in every respect to previous agreements. I therefore recommend approval of this agreement through the attached resolution. If I go down to the fifth whereas, the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, acting by and through its chairman, retains the Bureau of Indian Education Office to provide coordination of assistance in the provision of early intervention services to infants and toddlers with disabilities and their families on the Cheyenne River Sioux Indian Reservation who are served by elementary schools for Indian children. And whereas these services are further described in a forthcoming contract for services, the terms of which will be incorporated fully in this resolution. And whereas the infant toddler contract funds shall be used for child find screening and other procedures to identify early Indian children ages 0 through 2, Part C, and ages 3 to 4, Part B, inclusive for parent training and for early intervention services pursuant to the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, Public Law 105-17, subsection 19684B. And whereas in accordance with the contract, the Bureau of Indian Education shall make appropriate referrals to local, state, or federal entities for the provision of services to or for further diagnosis of children identified under this contract for services. And whereas the Education Committee, we did not meet and approve this resolution by motion because we didn't have time, it wasn't brought up. So that will have to be struck right there, Mr. Chairman. Therefore be it resolved that the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe authorizes and directs the tribe to execute the CRST infant and toddler contract for services with the Bureau of Indian Education for school year 2024-2025 in the estimated initial amount of $1,480,900. And then it's got the disclaimer. Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman, with that amendment being removed, or with that section being removed. Sure. $1,480,900. $1,480,900. That'll be my motion.
Motion by Mrs. Weibel. Second by Mr. Kessler. Comments and questions? Mr. Underwoods, go ahead.
Chairman, I've been always kind of going against this because we give it to Washitulas that are supposed to be this and that or whatever, but most of them been working from home and haven't been here. And this is the prime age from 0 to 5 to learn Lakota. So this money is ours, this 1.4 million. When I first got on council, the Head Start had 3 gigs on them, and we worked on them and we got them all cleared in 6 months, those 3 gigs. And what I found out as education chairman at that time was that, or vice chairman was that, or chairman was that the money is ours. That money is ours. And we let BIE handle it all this time.
So that's what the resolution.
And that 1.4 million should be benefiting these 0 to 5 and their families. And what was mentioned was that the Lakota language is a sacred language. It's a sacred language. And so we should be utilizing our language and utilizing our people, especially the elders that are fluent, and pay them a good incentive with these monies and Lakotify it, because I don't think we're getting bang from the buck from BIE, and it's still BIE, even though it's our money. I've been bringing this out every time this comes up. I'm not going to support this resolution because we should have been working on this under the United Nations Declaration on Rights of Indigenous People. We're supposed to be learning our language, our history, our culture. We're ignoring that declaration. And we passed that in 2012. 12 years later, it's the same old stuff again, So I think we need to do something different, Chairman. And defended it, but I don't think so. I think we need to support those young mothers and young families in their 0 to 5 to learn our language. You know, learn 2 languages at that time. It's better than any professional speech therapist or whatever can offer. And that's all Washichala mindset. So those young kids just get brainwashed into whatever is thrown at them. While you have a Unchi or Lala and the family involved with that, learning the language as part of that therapy, it'll work. So I think we need to spend that $1.4 million as we're the owners of that money, instead of just passing the buck. And I keep asking about what are the results. And I'll tell you right now, we're not getting the bang for the buck. So I'm hoping that this next round here, that we really look at this and maybe amend this to Lakota it. Because right now it ain't working. This English system, it's all good for even the mental health, man. It's all good for, you know. Well, we have 2 languages and we have a rich culture that we're ignoring, a rich way of life that we're ignoring, a rich ownership of everything around us. And yet we're neglecting that richness and choose poverty, you know, over what's going to work for those children, 0 to 5. Then in the treaty, 68 treaty, it says 6 to 16. So we should look at targeting that age group with our language, culture, science, technology, engineering, art, mathematics, but also language, culture, history taught by our elders. That's what will be happening right now in Gaza. Because I compared Gaza to what's happening here, that the Palestinians in their own land are considered occupants of their own lands under U.S. and Israeli armament and weapons of destruction. So yet those Palestinians, they teach their children what it is to be a Palestinian in their language. And yet here we are, free as an eagle, and acting like, birds that can't even fly. And these children need the best, and they're not getting the best. And if you guys agree with what's going on, then I don't agree with it. We need to seriously look at this now. Because all those children at this age, they need to be protected. They need more than just what is being offered to them by the white education society. I think they did enough damage to us, Chairman. I think we need to look at education and health seriously, because we're getting problems and they're not being solved. And only lawsuits can, remedy that stuff in some of those situations, which we need to do too. So I'm hoping we can reconsider this, and just instead of just rubber stamping this and then rubber stamping all those contracts, and then we did something great. BS, we didn't do nothing for our people, man. Nothing. So we need to start doing something for our people and not look the other way at all those problems we're seeing in our communities. And education is the key to getting out of poverty. The more people know, the better. So, Chairman, I can't agree with this no more, man. We got to do something else, man. This ain't working.
Okay, any other comments? We got a motion and second to approve resolution. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Woods,
Yeah.
Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ted Knight Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller,
Yes.
Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett, absent, Francine Hall, Joe Brinksplenny, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent, Tuffy Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Hang on. Got 10 yes, 1 no, 2 abstain, 2 absent. Motion carries. Mrs. Hall?
I received a call from one of our tribal members that works in this program, and she really shared some disheartening things with me about how our students aren't being served. And I actually don't know what to do. Because we passed this and we think that our students are being taken care of, and to find out they're not. And these people are getting huge amounts of money in contracts. And a lot of them don't even set foot on the reservation. They do their work through Zoom and so forth. Anyway, it just, that's why I abstained. I couldn't support this. Thank you.
Mrs. Weibel?
Yes, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I have another resolution. I believe Carol Morgan is the acting, for that program director at this time, but she's also the business technician. And I believe, if I remember correctly, I was informed by Dr. Troy that she's going to be retiring, and before her, the positions that vacant. And whereas the Federal Individuals with Disabilities Act, IDEA, establishes a set-aside for federally recognized tribes for children from birth to age 5. Historically, the BIA, Bureau of Indian Affairs / Education, has called these IDEA funds Infant and Toddlers Program funding. And whereas the tribe uses these funds to provide coordination of assistance in the provision of early intervention services to infants and toddlers with disabilities and their families on the Cheyenne River Sioux Indian Reservation who are served by elementary schools for Indian children. And whereas the tribe has a unique infant toddler program reimbursement arrangement with the Bureau of Indian Education, whereby the BIE grants the IDEA infant toddler program funds to the tribe, which then contracts them with the BIE to provide staff to carry out the program. Thus, infant toddler program staff on the Cheyenne River Reservation are Bureau of Indian Education employees. Whereas the CRST infant toddler program has an early childhood program director and a business technician who are responsible for administering, identifying, and serving children from birth to age 5. Unfortunately, the program has been operating without a program director for 4 years. Oh, okay, and soon the program will be without a business technician due to the upcoming retirement of a longtime staff member. And whereas the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe understands the difficulty in recruiting and hiring an Indian early childhood program director to administer the overall program requirements to identify, evaluate, and serve children with disabilities. And whereas the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe also understands the difficulty in recruiting and hiring a business technician to oversee the fiscal responsibilities of the program. And whereas despite difficulties in recruiting, the tribe believes both of these positions are critical to the continued success of the program in providing early intervention services to infants and toddlers with disabilities and their families on the Cheyenne River Sioux Indian Reservation who are served by elementary schools for Indian children. Now therefore be it resolved that the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe requests the Bureau of Indian Education to immediately recruit and advertise for the early childhood / infant toddler program director and the business technician for the CRST infant toddler program. And where be it further resolved that the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe hereby appreciates the support and thanks the BIE representatives who will work to ensure that positions are advertised and hired timely so IDEA services are not hindered due to lack of certified staff. And the disclaimer, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve.
We got a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Rose. Comments, questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryson Woods, Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ted Ike Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee, Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett, absent Francine Hall,
Yes.
Joe Brings Plenty, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
Two absent, motion carries.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you go to page 5 of 6, there was a motion on the property insurance for the log cabin past due bills. There was a motion by Council Representatives John Kessler, second by Sharon Lee, to refer the property insurance for the log cabin for the higher education program past due bills to the Budget and Finance Committee. Motion carried with the vote of 6 yes, 0 no, and 0 not voting. Mr. Chairman, if I get a second, I'll explain.
Okay, we got a motion by Mrs. Weibel, second by Mr. Knife.
Okay, the higher education program is being billed for the log cabin that's being used by the program at the Eagle Butte College Center. The higher education program moved into the building in 2019. There's concern that perhaps the higher education program is being billed for the entire CRST College Center campus and other bills. So we're referring it to the Budget Committee to review and look at. That's it.
Okay. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
It's a referral.
I'm sorry, it's a referral. Motion by Mary Miller, Whiteball, second by Buddy Knife. It's a referral to the Budget Finance Committee. All in favor, raise your hand. 13 yes, 0 no, motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, the last council action was a motion by Council Representative Sharon Lee, second by Kelsey Haskell, by resolution to have the United States Bureau of Indian Education meet with the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribal Council for tribal consultation regarding ISEP and transportation regulations. Motion carried with a vote of 3 yes, 0 no, and 0 not voting. Mr. Chairman, why do we have to travel and go see them? Why can't they come here? So I requested and asked as the Education Committee Chair that the committee, I entertained a motion and for the committee to, by resolution, have them come here and visit with us. According to our consultation, it's the full governing body. And so the resolution didn't get an opportunity to get typed, so I guess I can't read it into the record because I don't have a resolution. Tracy's still working on it. It's been referred and we never received it back from her yet. So it's too bad. We can at least take a stand on consultation. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, we adjourn the meeting at 2:50 p.m. that day, and that's all I have for the education minutes. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Council, I got a list here. I got Mr. Walters, Shannon Brown, Tennille Brown Thunder, Harry Little Thunder, Thad Rose, Sharon Lee, J.D. Williams, and then Dakota. Your enrollment?
Minutes. Can I do EDC after enrollment?
Yeah, I have you on the list.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, Tribal Council, general public. This first list is a majority list. Lyric, Kea, Avery, Anderson, Mother, Aaliyah Anderson.
Mr. Walters, can you state the dates of the meeting?
I'm sorry. Actually, Mr. Chairman, this was on January 30th, 2024. And the only ones present was Mr. Knife and Mr. In the Woods, but I had him bring them so that we can do them. Okay. First one is a lyric, Avery Anderson. Mother, Alea Anderson, Cheyenne River, half. Child is 1/4. Fatina, Sage, Annie, beautiful bald eagle. Father, Wopila, beautiful bald eagle. Cheyenne River, half. Child is 1/4. Royalty, Lynn Marie Meter, 5/16. Mother, Destiny Meter, 5/8. Cheyenne River. Kilani, Faye, Noisy Hawk, 85/256. Mother, Asia, Noisy Hawk, Cheyenne River, 85/128. Onyx, Lucen Rusaw, 49/128. Mother, Maria Rusaw, Cheyenne River, 49/64. Jeannie Autumn Shupak, 125/512. Father, Matthew Shupak, non-Indian. Mother, Julie White Dog, Cheyenne River, 125/256. K.S. Cash Taylor, 23/64. Mother, Jaden Taylor, Cheyenne River, 23/32. Kendall Christie Joe Thompson, 23/256. Father, Tyler Thompson, Cheyenne River, 23/128. Mother, Anna Roberts, non-native. Chaos Alice Vyatt. Milo Andres Vyatt, 119/128. Father, Tracy Vyatt Jr., Cheyenne River, 31/32. Mother, Caitlin Clown, Cheyenne River, 57/64. Adele Aberly Rose Whitehorse. Father, Jalen Whitehorse, Cheyenne River, 23/32. Mother, Amaret Hyber, Cheyenne River, 39/64. Motion to approve, Chairman.
Got a motion by Mr. Walters, second by Mr. Brinkspunny to approve. Comments or questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Sindowitz,
Oh, huh.
Yes.
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 Oh,
Thirteen yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 2 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Walters.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a 2/3 vote list. Kea Asia Big Eagle Foster Jr., 9/64. Father, Kea Foster Sr., non-native. Mother, Helinda Big Eagle, Cheyenne River, 9/32. And she comes from the Walters family. Catherine Jade Curley, half. Mother, Kabian Curley, Cheyenne River, 4/4. Comes from the Curley family. Sylvie May Margaret Dingman, Mother, Christian Banley, Cheyenne River, 23/32. The child is 23/64. Adopted father, Travis Dingman. Adopted mother, Riley Huss. Chalice Marie Duchena, 13 over 128. Father William Ducheno, Cheyenne River, 1364. Comes from the Ducheno family. Mother Callie Pack, non-native. Hayes Henry Ertz, Father Nicholas Ertz, Cheyenne River, 132nd, comes from the Dunn family. Child is 164th. Mother Emily Matson, non-native. Leah Jordan Jager, Allie Brooks Jager, 1 over 256 for both children. Father Eric Jager, Cheyenne River, 128, comes from the Springer family. Mother Brooke Abernathy, non-native. Cheyenne Rose Kilsnight, 27 over 64. Father Darrell Kilsnight Sr., non-enrollee. Mother Rhonda Brewer, Cheyenne River, 27/32, comes from the Brewer family. Mark Charles Larson, 116th. Father Randall Larson, non-native. Mother LaDonna Spicer, Cheyenne River, 1/8, comes from the Russell family. Bobby Lene Jasmine Mendoza, 113 over 256. Father Jordan Mendoza, Cheyenne River, 49 over 128, comes from the Mendoza family. Mother Josephine Halfred, Standing Rock, 1/2. Neva Camilla Nickerson, 3/64. Father Christopher Nixon, Cheyenne River, 3/32, comes from the Ducheno family. Mother Liliani Bides, non-native. Paxton Cooper Patterson, 29 over 256. Father Brian Patterson, non-native. Mother Ashley Nauser, Cheyenne River, 29 over 128, comes from the Dubray/Jewett family. Ava Antoinette Peterson, Father Joseph Neseth, non-native. Mother Leanna Peterson, Cheyenne River, 7/16, comes from the Bad Warrior family. The child is 7/32. Jensen Clay Lynn Reel, Father 11 over 256. Father Stephen Reel, non-native. Mother Kyla Ducheno, 11 Cheyenne River, 11 over 128, comes from the Ducheno family. Leah J. Grace Romero Perez, 1564. Father Abraham Romero Perez, Cheyenne River, 1532, comes from the Baldiga family. Mother Arlene Rabago, non-native. Ophelia Dawn Wire, 1564. Father Evan Wire, non-native. Mother Darcy Pretty Weasel, Cheyenne River, 1532, comes from the Pretty Weasel family. Motion to approve, Chairman.
We got a motion to approve by Mr. Walters. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lee. Comments, questions? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Indwoods, Steve Moran. Yes. Tenai Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller. Yes. Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett, absent Francine Hall. Yes. Joe Brinksplenny, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent Tuffy Thompson.
14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 1 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Walters.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the back, there's attached to the birth certificate for an individual who is eligible for enrollment by 2/3 vote of tribal council through the great-grandparent who was a member of the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe. Shally Marie Gardner is a person, 9/256. Father, Sheldon Gardner, non-native. Mother, Heidi Ebel, non-enrolled, not enrolled. Grandmother, Kathy Ebel, not enrolled. Grandmother, Alta Ebel, Cheyenne River, 930 seconds. Motion to approve, Chairman.
We got a motion to approve by Mr. Walters. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Rose. Comments, questions? Mrs. Hall and Mrs. Lee.
You know, when I look at this and see that the father is non-native, the mother isn't enrolled, the grandmother isn't enrolled, the great-grandmother was, she was just a little over a fourth. And, you know, I have to take a look at that and say, how close to the culture are these people? They live in Everett, Washington. It's like enrolling some white people. There's a reason the grandmother and the mother didn't get enrolled. Anyway, I'm not going to support this. I wish we had a process where, you know, people would. The United States has a citizenship test that they have to pass in order to become a citizen. You know, we need to have something in place too, because all we're doing is really diluting our bloodline. And, you know, pretty soon all you're going to see in this room, if we're even in existence by then, all you're going to see is white people sitting here. You know, that's what's happening. We're going out of existence, and we're allowing this to happen. Anyway, thank you.
Ms. Lee.
I don't know if Mr. Walters can answer my question, but I just kind of was wondering along the same lines as Ms. Hall, why the mother and the grandmother weren't enrolled, and then the great grandmother was, and then why this Shelley is wanting to be enrolled.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have an answer, but to Mrs. Hall and Ms. Lee, what we used to do in the past is have them write a letter on why they want to get enrolled. We used to write that. And a lot of them was because they never knew where they were from. We had quite a few people like that. We had relatives that probably maybe 5 years ago got enrolled because they didn't even know they were from here, because they were taken out of here. And in fact, we didn't really know them at that time until we got to know them as that they were our relative. And but that's what we used to do. And most of the time it come back that they were adopted out, or they didn't know where they came from, or things like that. That's the kind of letters we used to get back, just to share with you.
Any other comments, Mr. Brinks Plenty?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to know too, you know, the reasoning why, you know, they weren't enrolled. If you talk to some elders in relocation, when they went to other areas, they actually had to change their names in order to get jobs, because Indian people were treated so badly. But I'd like to know the history of this as well. You know, I mean, she's born in '94.
We can take it back.
I'm gonna table it until I get the information.
They're calling to,
Huh?
getting it enrolled. Any other comments, council members? And I believe one of these was contacting our office about their enrollment, and they kind of made it sound like they tried previously and they didn't get in. Just go ahead.
One thing is that, you know, there's some programs that are set up out there to help our Indian children through scholarships. And some of them do have, you know, like I think over in Minnesota, they have a college there that helps with the tuition and stuff, but you have to meet that blood quantum, a quarter and above. And even if they're from here, even though it says they're enrolled, they still have to meet that. Because I know I was visiting with some enrolled members here, and they're saying that they wasn't able to get tuition because of it, because it's within their that dowry, that the lady that had wrote it out and donated all that money. But I do know that there's people out there that utilize, you know, if they can identify under our membership, they can utilize our statistics as well too, and probably get some of these benefits. And you know, I guess, you know, if they are lineage, and that's what we have now, you know, we're open. I mean, they could be enrolled, but you know, for myself, I'd like to know why. I'd like to know why, because you know, there's a lot of our kids here within the communities. They don't have those options, and you know, even for some of these Ivy League colleges that have their programs to bring in Native children to work with them. Ms. Hall had mentioned Charles Eastman. He went to Dartmouth. Dartmouth is one of them. But how do they do their selecting? You know, I think they have they run through. Pine Ridge has a group that they'll send through some of these prep schools that are around the area there. And you know, how do we get our children that are like within the communities involved? Because they're the ones that identified. They're the ones that live in these tough situations, but they don't get the benefit of those statistics. You know, it's just like inner city. You have inner city benefits for some individuals, but those ones that are identified for it, they don't usually get it. And this is the same situation. You know, I'm not saying this is the case, but I'd really like to know why. You know, and I'm not going to support it until I do. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Bryce Underwoods,
Abstain.
Steve Moran,
Yes.
Ken Ive Jr.,
Yes.
John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez. Abstain. Sharon Lee,
Abstain.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell,
Yes.
Thad Rose,
Yes.
Derek Bartlett, absent. Francine Hall,
No.
Joel Brings Plenty, Bob Walters, Ronald Russo, absent. Tuffy Thompson.
Yes.
Seven yes, 3 no, 3 abstain, 2 absent. Motion carries. Mr. Walters. Oh, okay. It's 2/3. So this motion would fail, and I'm sorry. I need the 10 yes votes to approve. So this one was 7 yes, 3 no, 3 abstain, 2 absent. So that would be motion failed. Mr. Walters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'm getting a text, and I guess I'll visit the enrollment office and see where some of these are at or where they're at on the list. Are we gonna have I wasn't here for when the cutoff date is for enrollments for these children from yes. So March session, we can enroll and they're still eligible for whatever? Yeah, because I just got another text here that asked me how to get their child enrolled ASAP. Some of these have to do with court issues and things like that. And I myself, I don't want to see us lose our kids to another tribe, you know? And so I'm glad we're going to have another session for enrollments. Thank you. That's all I have, Chairman.
Council, I have a resolution here for Mr. Knife with the third whereas. Council Representative Ted Knife is requesting to travel to Bison Shared Stewardship Strategy Meeting in Missoula, Montana, February 11th, 2024 through February 16th, 2024. Therefore, be resolved that the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe Council approves for Council Representative Ted Knife to travel to Missoula, Montana to attend the Bison Shared Stewardship Strategy Meeting starting February 11th, 2024 through February 16th, 2024. Be it finally resolved. A disclaimer. Motion approved by Mr. Walters, second by Ms. Haskell. Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Give you back some jerky.
Bryson Woods, Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr., John Kessler,
Yes.
Kenrick DePreez, Sharon Lee,
Yes.
Mary Miller, Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett, absent.
Yes.
Francine Hall.
Yes.
Joe Briggs Plenty, Bob Walters, Ronald Rusaw, absent. Tuffy Thompson.
Yes.
Twelve yes, 0 no, 1 abstain, 2 absent. Motion carries. Got Shannon Brown. I got Shannon, Sharon, Tennille, Harry. Yeah, Council, let's take a few minutes, and then Shannon can get set up.
will be resolved at the earliest to get this accomplished in 120 days. Is that all right with you? Or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Walters?
I'll amend the motion to add the 120 days in there, Mr. Chairman.
It's a referral. All in favor, raise your hand. Eleven yes. Opposed, not voting, one not voting. The motion carries. Thank you, Shannon. Delomea. Tanil?
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Why?
Are you just waving?
While she's coming up, can I say something? I always had a great concern about all the yellow marks on our map from the patent fee, the way the land was taken away. And so that's good that he's doing that.
Tanil, you would just state your name for the record and then we'll give you the floor.
Okay, I'm Tanil Brown Thunder of District 1, Dupree. I'm asking council's approval for the multi-purpose building to be accessed for elderly, family, children, such as movie night, emergency stayovers, emergency shelter for the homeless, stranded individuals, youth family night activities, arts and crafts. YMCA has theirs, but they have them on certain nights, and we would like it for the other kids as well, because not everybody goes over there. Security for District 1, all elderly are asking security for the district for the manor over there, and the elderly ordinance to be updated and released. And the children's youth crosswalk lights in Dupree, either school zones, areas, crosswalks, lights, or signs. And I'm inquiring about the payment for the tribal members and about the alcohol banishment. How far, where is that on that? Because I'd like to vote on that as well. If they have a voters list before that. And I put in for 5 acres on west of Dupree in November and never got no response. I paid my $25 fee because I want to build, I want a tribal home site over there. If I can get a tribal home built, or I can build one on my own. With the fundings from the tribe, I can build it myself. I have crews, I got people, I can do it myself. I mean, not all of it by myself, but I know people, crews that can come in and are willing and able to help me in those areas. And I could live off the land just like anybody else can. I'll have a farm of my own. That's what I would like to. That's my ultimate goal, is just to live here amongst the people. With like garden and horses and stuff like that, back to the old ways. Because when new ways come in, where are we going to be at? I want that little 5 acres. I want that house. So that's mine, so I can't say that I have to leave. So that's what I'm asking for.
Okay, council, any comments, or any referrals on these issues, Mr.
Yeah,
Woods?
I'd make that referral to the land committee on regarding the 5 acres to get an update on that. I don't know, buddy, if we did that already, but refer her 5 acres to the land committee to get a status on it.
I'll second it, Chairman.
Okay, we got a motion to refer to the land committee by Mr. Underwood, second by Mr. Walters for Tennille's request for the 5 acres. All in favor, raise your hand. At 12 yes, 0 no, motion carries.
Chairman, that request on the multi-purpose building, they have a Dupree Lakota Association. They have elections every 2 years in January. And they have the keys to the multi-purpose building and the red youth building. I got the keys too, kind of for emergencies. If there's an emergency, then I let the chairman know what's going on over there if there's an emergency. And that's what I do with those buildings. But that association looks over this request. So you could either take it to them or you're asking for council to support what you're gonna do for the community.
Yeah.
I'd make a motion to support that, Chairman, for activities.
You're arguing that part, so, I mean, for the youth part, because the YMCA has theirs, but not all the kids and adults will go over there. The ones from the manor, they like to walk over and visit each other at the multipurpose building, have coffee and snacks and like that. Get together, and they don't never get to do that. So I was either one could be used if they would let us. Yeah. Yeah. Cause then we could. I'm all for that too. We could come up with ideas and arts and crafts nights. Cause Dupree really, there's a lot of things to do, and there's just kids running around.
What I suggested was to have the write-in, which you guys requested it, but you just get like a flyer going, signing up those days that like YMCA, they do give out a notice of what they're doing. They do it like Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And then if she wants to be not involved, not to conflict with the schedule for the activities.
Yeah.
Like tonight, youth and friends putting on the Albert
Bingo, I think. Yeah.
The red building.
Yeah.
I mentioned to Janelle to go to that with Albert on the benches. I think it's a good effort for our
Yeah. Yeah. That's the stuff I like to do because my mom's got cancer and she is limited her resources too. So I run a lot of elderly around for free. I do a lot of things with the community. Kids, I give them right to school early in the morning. I pick up tons of kids. I don't ask for anything. They need a ride. So, but we got that taken care of in Dupree. We talked about the elderly and all that stuff. So that's what we're at right now, if anything.
You're asking for council to support you in setting up these community activities?
Yeah, community activities.
Okay. Got a motion by Mr. Underwood, second by Mr. Walters. Comments or questions on the action? Mr. Walters, go ahead.
Back in the day when I worked at the it's called Four Bands then, as a youth concert trainee. Once a week I go over to the YMCA and the program over here bought all the materials, and we do an activity, making dream catchers, doing something.
Yeah.
Exactly. We even did things like took tobacco and then chinchasha, good tobacco, chinchasha, bad tobacco, Washichi tobacco, things like that. And we talk about it and take information on it. We used to go from the Fort Bands Healing Center at that time and go over to the YMCA once a week, usually on Tuesday nights it was, I guess. And always had a pretty good turnout, like maybe 20 kids used to come over to that. So maybe you could connect with the Wakpa Wash Day counseling up there and see if they have anything like that too, that someone could come over one night a week or something and do activity with them, with the kids.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a good deal.
Yep.
Chairman.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
One more thing is that, like Kevin, he likes those cake walks and musical chairs. You gotta bake some cakes and pies, man. That way they'll come. They shall come. But I think you could also add on their NA and AA meetings.
Yeah.
That way Fort Bands could help you out. Joaquin and will help you out. So there's some contacts there that will actually come and help you. Set it up and you can run those meetings or whatever. I could help you out too if you want to. But you can run those meetings too, because we need that there too, you know that. Salamat, Chairman.
Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Ray Cinderwoods. Steve Moran.
Yes.
Ted Knife Jr.
Yes.
John Kessler. Absent Kenrick DePreez. Sharon Lee.
Yes.
Mary Miller. Kelsey Haskell.
Yes.
Thad Rose.
Yes.
Derek Bartlett. Absent Francine Hall.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. 12 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 3 absent. Motion carries. Well, thank you, Mrs. Tennille Brown Thunder. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Council.
Council, next we got Mr. Little Thunder, and then after that we have our EDC chairwoman's report. Harry, want to come up? I know.
There you go, camera. Okay.
Harry, we'll give you the floor to say your name for the record.
I'm bet the